let me introduce you to us.
Oh, here we go.
I'm Brendan. This is Frank.
Hello there.
Frank, this is Martin.
Hi, Frank.
Oh, hang on. I'm not introducing Frank to Martin. I'm introducing the listener to us. Of course, I don't have to do this because this is episode 70 or 80. I've lost track. But that's not the point. It was a little clever reference to an episode of the Australian children's television program Bluey. But let's not give away what it is yet. We always say that, but it's in the title.
We kind of do.
Don't look at the title. Don't.
Somebody else
Cover
talk.
Don't look
with
at your
hand.
podcast.
Yeah, that's right. No, I assume that somebody's binging the entire thing in one go, and they don't have a Bluetooth thing showing them what episode
Put
it is.
your phone in your pocket,
it's
people.
a surprise until the big reveal. Maybe one day we'll just put the wrong title on it, and so it would be a surprise. We're not doing it this time. This episode, you'll find out what it is. I was about to give it away then. Should we give it away in a minute? Let's roll the titles first,
Okay.
and then we'll do it. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Good idea.
This episode of the Hammer Bomb Project is called BORT.
Did I just say good idea? I just told myself I had a good idea.
Do we have titles?
I do that all the time by myself,
what
but
are the
not on the not on the podcast. I shouldn't do that. Oh,
But-
the whole bit where it says, when Josh does the PA announcement.
Oh,
It's not really titles. It's our title card.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. So
That
that
thing-
doesn't happen in
episode
real
of the
time
podcast.
where we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The magic of editing.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. Seamless. But what's the latest?
We've done this before, haven't we?
70 or 80
always
times.
something.
How's the time been, guys? How's the week? How's the month? How's the year?
So we are now. I mean, I try to avoid dating the show, but I'm the worst at actually dropping references that automatically show how long ago we recorded this.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a couple in the can, and I just haven't edited them yet, have I?
Yeah, you're becoming far too successful, Brendan. at
Oh,
other things.
don't give me
Stop it.
that.
I'm
Stop being
fairly
famous.
sure that we signed that thing to say that you weren't going to become successful at other things.
Yeah, sorry.
So,
How I
that's the
had
only-
other ideas. Oh, I'm an
Anyway,
idiot.
sorry, Frank, to interrupt
I
you.
would guess without trying to date the show, it is still pre-Christmas. Can't guarantee when this episode is going to actually air, so take that with a grain of salt.
We
and-
wish you a Merry Christmas. That was
We
about
wished
probably
you
4 or 5
the-
weeks ago.
That was probably last year.
That was definitely last year. We, for the first time in both my my life and Ali's life, we have a real Christmas tree.
Oh,
For the
right.
first time ever.
Where was it? Did I see it?
It is in,
In
the
the front
yes,
room?
Yes, it's right next to the TV you were watching.
I think I walked. What?
Mm-hmm.
So not the front room, like lounge room.
Yes.
So it was there.
It was right
and
next
it's
to
real.
It was right next to
Why couldn't
Dawson
I
and
smell it?
Pacey when you were watching Dawson's
Usually
Creek.
I can smell these things.
That's what I was going to say. That is by far the best bit, is the smell. I get up in the morning and it's the first thing you just go, oh, that awesome pine smell. Everything else, real bit of painful work, I've got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because you get it and we've got a little base to sit it in. But of course, these guys, when they hack it off in the forest, they don't really care about getting it flat. So I had to recut the base of it. Then you had to, the branches went all the way down the base. And I'm like, well, I need to hack those branches off to get it to sit in the thing. And then the branches were too low. How do I get in and water it? It was quite a lot of effort. And I think, inside, in my head, I'm just going, right, this is the first and last real Christmas tree we're getting. But I was like, do you know what? Ali's really excited by this. I'm not gonna poo-poo it. I'm not gonna be the Grinch. And then after another 45 minutes of faffing about, Jack sort of getting under our feet was, Jack, pick up all those pine needles over there. So you've got something to do while
1,
Yeah,
2,
basically
3.
I'll tell you what, though. Have you tried vacuuming up the pine needles yet?
Yeah, it's a good way to clog up your vacuum cleaner. as
A
we
good
found
way to
out.
clock up your. Maybe people have got better vacuum cleaners than I had when I was a kid. And maybe because you've got the floating floorboards,
Yes.
this sort of thing. Whereas the carpet.
Oof.
I tell you
Not
what,
pretty.
these pine needles are aerodynamically designed. Someone genetically engineered these to have some slipstream around them so that they just sit still.
They just bend,
how is this
bend
possible?
space and time.
They
around
are
themselves.
they are inexplicably good at not being picked up by the vacuum cleaner that I had. But yeah, that's really annoying. Then you try sweep carpet. It's the only way to do it.
Nah.
And you're standing there like an idiot sweeping carpet. Your vacuum cleaner won't work.
Yeah. But anyway, after a good hour or so of mucking around, we finally got it up and got it straight and, able to water it, whatever. Ali just, I was like, bit of satisfaction that it was all done. Ali looks at me and she goes, first and last time we're doing this. I was like, cool, we're in agreement. This is why I married you.
Nice. Do you remember the Christmas tree that grew? Do you remember that book? It was a little golden book.
No,
It's a delightful Christmas story. I actually really liked it when I was a kid. I mean, I think I didn't have opinions when I was a kid. It was just like a kid's book. Sure, yeah, I like it. but now I went back and I think I read it to one of my nieces or nephews, and it's just, I think I teared up. It's just a really sweet family story. It's about this. Someone brought a Christmas tree, and they lived in like a multi-story apartment sort of building, and they potted this Christmas tree. And it's we shouldn't get too Christmassy because this might not come out before Christmas. So if we don't make it, I'm very sorry that we're just Christmasifying it. But they realized that it was getting bigger, and they're like, oh, it's not. It's actually like growing. Rather than get rid of it, might be too big to get out the door. And they knock on the family's door upstairs and said, "Do you have a Christmas tree? What if we cut a hole in the floor and let it grow up through?" And so it did. And then it gets too high for that, and then they went up
it
to
goes up and
and
up
these
and
are
up. Yeah, okay.
these are like people who hadn't really interacted before, and there was like the one like family with a few kids, and then there was another family. It was just a couple, and then there was an old lady or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the family at the bottom ended up moving out, and they took the tree with them and planted it out the front of their house and invited everyone round for Christmas. So these are people who didn't interact, and then the Christmas tree that grew formed bonds between them, and then they ended up being friends forever beyond when they moved out.
Aww.
So I don't know, it's really sweet. And that's a whole Christmas story that I told in February.
I mean, that's one of our spin-off ideas, isn't it? That we just read Christmas. We get Brendan to read Christmas stories.
Yeah.
Just record
My
that
children.
as a podcast.
Let's gather around the Christmas tree that grew and hear the story of how much I hate cleaning up pine needles.
That's the moral of the story.
That's the moral of the story. Get a Wertheim or a Kirby and floating floorboards. Can I tell a story of something that Nora did?
Yes.
Just so
I
I
think
don't
that's what this
forget
part
it.
of the show is for.
So that I don't forget it. It was so funny, Marty. You'll appreciate this. So I was in the lounge room, and from the lounge room you can see through, like, if the door is like there's some glass doors, and I can see into like Josh and Aaron's room, and then through the window beyond outside, and I could see, and their door was open, and I could see Josh like watering a plant outside. And I walked in, and Erin was in the boys' bedroom putting the twins to bed, and I didn't know where Nora was, and she's 5 at the minute. And I just thought, I can see Josh. I'll like freak him out. Because I was bored. So I walked up, and I didn't want to like walk straight into their room, but I just like knelt in the doorway and just looked out at him and just started going, like just looking straight at him because I was bored. And I'm like, if I can do this loud enough for him to look up, he'll wonder, what the hell is that? And then he'll see me like kneeling in his doorway, and it would just be stupid. Like not to really scare him or anything, I don't know, but just to be an idiot.
Yeah.
And I was getting louder and louder, but I didn't want to get too loud because everyone was putting the boys down.
Sure.
And he didn't look up. So in the end, I just gave up. And so I was just kneeling there like a fool, just going, maybe he'll look up. And then once I'd given up, from the corner of the room I was in, down behind the Christmas tree, I just heard, "Papa?" And I leapt into the air. It was so freaky. And I looked over in the corner, and I'm like rubbing my eyes because I was looking outside. So my eyes were adjusting to the dark. I couldn't make out anything. And then I was like, "What? Am I going insane? Was that did I hear something just then?" And my eyes finally adjusted to the dark. And there's just the figure of Nora just sitting there just behind the tree in the dark. She saw the whole thing, watching the whole thing. I'm like, why are you behind the tree? She goes, oh, well, when mum goes to put the boys down, I go and hide because it's kind of funny when she comes out and then she has to look for me. I'm like, so you saw that whole thing? She's like, yeah, I was wondering what you were doing. I'm like, it was just so funny that I had failed at this thing I was doing.
Yeah.
So it was kind of
You
like,
were trying to freak.
well.
You were trying to freak
Yeah.
Josh out, while then
And then I
Josh's
just
spawn
got
freaked
so
you out.
scared. But and then I was telling this story to people the next day because I just thought it was so funny. And they said, "What? Why did she say Papa?" And I said, "That is a great question. I hadn't even thought because Nora is such a funny, strange kid. It didn't even occur to me that it would have occurred to her what she'd say. Like, and so I'm like, I bet she doesn't know." And then the next day I said, "Oh, Nora, why did you remember when you did that?" She goes, "Ah, yeah." I said, "Why did you say Papa?" And she just went, "Oh." I mainly just wanted to tell that story so I have a reference of it so I don't forget it because it's just so funny. She's such an odd duck, and it's the best thing. I have no interest in hanging out with people who aren't that weird.
Well, in a non-Christmas story,
Uh-huh.
Jack has now returned to one of his other earlier passions that I thought had sort of gone away with his love of farms and animals and stuff. He's returned into Officer Jack, as we call him.
Officer Jack.
He comes home, he puts his police uniform on, he's got a hat.
He's 4 days away from retirement.
Pretty much. He's got a little whistle on there that I've tried my best to break, but somehow it still works. He's got his little handcuffs. He's got his little police shades. He's got all this stuff. And then
That's
one day
awesome.
I was out the front doing, it's slightly Christmas related, putting the lights up in the front garden, doing all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then Jack, I'll help, gets bored after 30 seconds, as they tend to do. So he's standing at the top of the driveway with his whistle and just basically like a traffic cop, just waving as cars were going past on the road. He's just like waving at them. And then one was coming from the other direction at the same time. And he's like, no, whistle, stop. And of course, they didn't stop. He got so he started whistling even angrier. And I'm like, the neighbors are loving this. And then it occurs to me, I was like, Ali's out at the moment. She should be home. And and Ali starts to pull in the driveway, and Jack's just there, just basically whistles, hands out in front to like make her stop. And she had to stop because her son was in the driveway. And so then there's like cars building up behind Ali. I'm like, Jack, get the hell out. Like, you need to usher mum in, like wave her in. And so he starts, trying to wave her in, but he's standing right where she needs to drive. And I'm like, this is no. So I picked up the police. So sorry, Officer Jack, picked him up, put him over the side. Now wave mum in. And it was great because instead of like, people's reactions, just, oh, this bloody kid, once they realized what was happening and drove past, they were like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. How good. It's always like there's so much funny, weird, unexplainable kid chaos in my life that it's always amuses me when I'm in public or when I'm just going about my day. Like, imagine one of those drivers are, and then something like that happens. And parents are often like, I'm so sorry. And I'm usually just laughing and just go, oh, no. This is normal. This is baseline for me. Yeah. What do we gather here to do, gentlemen?
Talk about how late this episode will come out.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yep, that's first and foremost.
But
second to that, should we bark down an episode?
Yeah.
Should we get amongst it?
Yeah.
Well, I'll just get this ready.
You're preempting that we're going to do this really poorly and haphazardly like we always do. But should we Frank, what do you reckon? Should we throw to Martin? Do you think he's got some like bare buttons or something that he wants to
there's 2 buttons here. I'm going to press one.
Okay.
You get to choose.
All right.
No.
Because
sorry.
Bye.
Wrong button. Let me try again.
Yes.
Hey,
All right.
Let's throw the button. So
Okay,
says
good.
the button.
I'm glad because I've got something for you today. Okay. Doppelganger.
Mm-hmm.
From the German meaning double walker. A ghostly double of a living person, a harbinger of ill fate. 1822, Percy Shelley, husband of Mary Shelley, author of Frankenstein, met a figure of himself on the terrace, asking, "How long do you mean to be content?" He drowned on the 8th of July. Abraham Lincoln saw his doppelganger, pale and sickly, later assassinated. Catherine the Great, Empress of Russia, ordered her guards to shoot at a double of herself she saw sitting on the throne.
This has taken a turn.
She died soon after.
Holy.
Likewise, Elizabeth I passed away after seeing her doppelganger in her room. In this episode of Bluey, the doppelganger again becomes an ill omen, leading to a fundamental loss of self and one's place, an existential crisis of the greatest scale. Not unlike Catherine, Bluey sees her throne usurped. The globe now belongs to Bingo.
Don't.
Her toothy maw, devouring all. Long live the peanut butter and banana.
Here.
And
That's
thank you.
That
A bit dark? Just a little bit.
little bit death
on dark.
Little bit of death.
But yeah,
But
there
history-
wasn't quite a bit of death in there. Sorry.
But history as well. You know,
Lots of
you learn
history.
it's
things.
part of life.
Mm.
Me oh
Did you
my.
guys know that about doppelgangers?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So, and what was it? It was Mary Shelley's husband. Wow, there you go.
Yeah, there's some good podcasts about that out there, so check them out. I think it was
Double Walker, you say?
Double Walker.
Well, there you
Yes.
go.
I mean, you've got a doppelganger, Brendan.
Do I? I imagine I got a couple.
I mean, maybe not now because you're,
And
you're
he's
the,
right
you're,
here.
you're the-
He's,
and here he
comes.
is.
Yeah.
Joke's
Oh,
on
he's looking
you.
very pale and sickly.
That's me. I'm not.
I meant more in your you know what we're looking at now is the streamlined version
Dear.
of
Oh,
Brendan.
I don't know at the moment.
Back in the tubbier Brendan days, we'll call them. I'm pretty sure you were mistaken for Jack Black quite often.
Yeah, got a bit of Jack Black about me. Ruggedy.
But should we?
And Marty's got a doppelganger too.
That
tennis player.
player.
That I have
what
no-
tennis player? Do I know?
I couldn't tell you his name, but there was at one point he was like in the top 10 in the world, and it was if you ever wanted to see Marty with a headband, it was dead set. The face, the features,
Classic.
everything. It was Marty.
Yeah. Even I could look at him and go, "Yeah, okay, I can
Yeah,
see it."
I see it. Yeah,
when,
yeah.
when the own person says,
Yeah,
you know, I
can
see what
it.
you're talking about, then you're onto something.
And I believe I've been referred to as Charlie Day from
Oh,
Always Sunny.
I see the Charlie Day.
See, I was a
It's
bit
somewhere
like,
between you and my brother Steve.
yeah.
Steve has some Charlie Day about him.
I
And
for the longest
he's also
time,
kind of small and intense.
yes, that is very Steve.
Mm.
For the longest time, I was like, nah, don't see it. And I'd watched a fair bit of, Always Sunny and some of the other things Charlie Day's been in. And it was just this innocuous scene where he just turned left on camera at a particular angle. And I just went, oh, I get it now. I see it.
He's a talented
It's the
man, Charlie Day.
It's just the sort of angle that you've looked at yourself in the mirror. Because there's all those angles that you can't actually see yourself at.
That's true.
Unless
in a
you have
mirror.
a retroreflector mirror.
Yes. Yeah. Ding the button because that was a Brendan.
Yeah, go on.
nerdy- There
Yeah,
we go.
yeah.
Science.
Oh man, retroreflectors are so cool. They're on the moon. There are retroreflectors on the moon, so we can
Oh,
shine.
it's the return of our favorite show, the stuff that Brendan has episode
It's
podcast.
the-
I love that one. One of my
Did you
favorites.
send one to the moon?
I didn't send one, but they have them on the moon that you shine lasers at. So no matter what angle you're shining the laser at, it comes right back at you.
Wow.
That's how.
Why is that
they
useful
work.
on the moon? Anyway, so
for like tracking
science.
and digital
okay.
digital
Alright.
stuff? You know.
So anyway, the episode we're talking about.
This episode of Bluey is called Mini-Bluey.
You bet it is. What's it really about, Martin?
The kids decide that they're going to dress up as one another.
There it is.
And it's
With
it's
the-
made
with
a
the
lot
hair
funny.
chalk.
It's made a lot easier when one of your children is blue and the other one is orange.
Yes.
Mm. And those are the exact hues that come in those sets of
Oh, perfect.
hair chalk. Is it hair chalk that they say?
Hair
Is it
chalk.
for like,
Now,
for like,
is hair chalk an invention? complete fix.
I
Like
think they got it
fiction
on
for this
Sports
show.
Day, isn't it? Don't they you put hair chalk in your thing on Sports Days?
Is it?
I don't know. Is that a
Because
thing?
this is the thing. I'm like, I've never seen it
I don't
before.
know.
I'm not sure if it's something that you know,
Well, I had
humans
those
put in their
weird
head
little
hair.
round containers on them, almost like a makeup sort of.
Yeah. It's kind of
thing.
like I just keep on. It looks like a what do they call it? A castanet.
Yeah, it does. It
So
does.
you just kind of
actually.
close like.
But
I
you know
was-
these
I don't know-
guys. It's going to be based on a product.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Okay.
based
It'll
on
be a
exactly,
thing.
you know.
Yeah, but I'm willing to believe it. That's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just kind of like, yeah, okay, we need some sort of MacGuffin so that
Yeah,
we can have the recoloring of whatever. Who cares? They could
Yeah.
have painted themselves. I
Yeah.
don't mind. But hair chalk just seems to make it easier, and then you can have it sprayed off very quickly.
Such a flippin' hilarious episode,
Oh,
And-
good.
and it's
It's a bit postmodern because
Yeah.
it's kind of deconstructing the show
Mm.
itself.
yeah, sure.
Another
Yeah,
one of these
yeah, that's
episodes
why-
where it's just the family. They're not out
Yeah,
some
that's
crazy
true.
adventure. You
Yeah.
don't have like Pat coming in. You don't have any of Bluey's friends or the extra cast.
Mhm.
It's
That's
Mhm.
true.
It's a regular Sunday, or from the looks of it, because I assume they're going to school the next day based on Chili's searching for
Yes.
the book.
Okay, yeah, good call.
You know, it's got to go
Yeah,
back to the
yeah.
library.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
What is it?
Schmurtle.
Schmurtle.
The
Schmurtle,
dirty
the
turtle.
dirty turtle.
Now,
Dr. Seuss.
Well-
Yertle the turtle. Is that what you're thinking? I remember.
Oh,
I
Yertle
remember
the turtle.
Yertle the
But
turtle.
Yeah,
I
okay.
have something very special for you guys today,
Ooh.
which I might hold until a little bit later in the episode.
You can't lead with that.
Oh wow.
But
But
okay.
I have written the story
Oh.
What?
of Schmurtle the dirty turtle.
Hang on. There's no doppelgangers or really, really dark
No,
endings
no.
in the
It's-
Schmurtle the
it's
Dirty
not dark.
Turtle, is there?
It is a moral,
Mm,
but it's not dark. Anyway,
Right.
you can look forward to that a little bit.
Did
later.
you say there is a moral? But
There
it's
is a
not-
moral.
I thought you said
It is a moral.
It is a moral.
It's
but
completely immoral.
but it's not
And
dark.
standing over the body, Schmurtle said, no.
Woo, dearie
No.
me.
He said,
no.
"Take that doppelganger."
Family podcast. Take that doppelganger.
Well, you did say, like, you know, it's convenient that one of them is blue and one of them is orange. I think it's really interesting that we can tell from this episode that they're not just a palette swap in their character
I was just about to
I
say
noticed
that.
that so
It
much.
does make you really appreciate the subtle
design
art
differences.
design
Yeah, 'cause,
differences.
like,
yeah.
if you'd asked, you know, somebody who'd just seen a couple of episodes and just said, like, you know, you just draw Bluey smaller and
Yeah.
that's bingo. But
Yeah.
no, it's very apparent.
It was the
when you're just
rounding
trying
of the head. Bluey's got a more square sort of like
Yep.
head, whereas
Yeah.
Bingo is more rounded
It's
in the
got a little
corners. That's what
around
jumped
it.
out
There's
to
stuff
me.
going on
like-
around the mouth
Yep.
that's a bit different, and just sort of how the areas of color around the face and body help to define their shape. And it might not just
Yeah.
be the actual shape, but it's the way the lines sort of suggest
Yep.
different shapes, things like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just very subtle, but it just shows that there is a lot going on in
For sure.
the difference of
Yeah.
the designs.
So, establishment shot of the house.
Yeah.
And just Bluey's operatic shrillness coming in. So good. And the way that
Loudly but beautifully.
yeah, and the way that the parents are just kind of going about their thing.
Yeah.
Bandit's just kind of like, oh, could you
Tone
just,
it down.
turn it down a bit? And Chili, like, it's so true to a morning in the household where you can't really like berate the kid or tell the kid off because they're not doing anything naughty, but just God, it would be nice if they stopped. You know, it's
Yeah, this is something I need. It's not something you're doing.
yeah,
It's just a little bit less abrasive, please.
yeah, and just
For fuck's
the
sake.
really highlighting the differences in their characters in this episode.
Yeah.
I love it anytime it does that, and I've said this a million times on this podcast, but you don't have to do that. Like a lesser show would have these two characters. One of them is like the other one, but smaller.
Yeah.
But the way they really properly carve out these characters as real human characters. Bluey is hilarious and lovable for all of Bluey's reasons, and Bingo is hilarious and lovable for all of Bingo's reasons. And
there's no real straight man.
no,
It's like
Yeah.
it's not Bingo is the straight man to all of Bluey's shenanigans. It's not the case. It's just they take the lead at different points for different reasons, as ultimately we find out in
Yeah.
this episode. I do. I want to take us back to the library books though, because this reminds me of a story. So I'm going to shout out to.
Marty's got a story about a library. Who would have ever thought?
You didn't see that coming?
Wow. No, this is a callback to high school, year 7.
Wow.
Shouting out to Tim Foley.
Oh.
This is what I still
Timbo.
I was remembering.
They still
this.
catch up.
We don't. But I know
you wish you did.
I
It's fun
know
to
he's
say.
listening. Because this is what I was actually laughing and smiling about today as I was thinking about it. Because whenever I think of having the list of library books that you have to return,
Yeah.
in year 7, they read out the overdue library books in front of the class.
What?
Which is pretty much
Whoa.
tantamount to reading out somebody's internet search history.
That is
So
dirty.
Tim Foley got dinged with, Tim Foley, could you please return the Magic School Bus?
Oh,
Which
man.
in year 7 that's a little
It's
bit.
a little bit
Yeah,
childish.
you
a
pushed
little
it.
bit lame, not very cool.
Yeah.
In,
Oh, man.
year 7. But jokes on me now because I've realized the Magic School Bus is pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's actually
Nora
pretty
was
good.
watching it on YouTube the other day because Erin put it on, and it was the planets episode where where the Magic School Bus turns into a spaceship and they go to the different planets.
Awesome.
And there are 2 bits in that I still quote to this day. Miss Frizzle goes, follow the bouncing lizard, because they're on like a planet with lower gravity, and what's the name of the lizard pet? I forget, but it bounces off, and she's like, "Follow the bouncing lizard," and so that's a staple in our household. And the other one was like when they're on, I want to say Venus. I think they're on Venus and it's raining like sulfuric acid, and the kids go, "Sulfuric acid," and Miss Susan goes, "It's a deadly poison." And I walked in and it was playing, and I turned to Nora and mouthed, like I just walked into the house. I have not seen this in years. I'm like, this is the planet episode. They're on Venus right now. I turned to Nora, mouthed perfectly, "It's a deadly poison." And she was like, what's happening?
How did you know
now?
this?
I'm just like, it's burned in there. On the Magic School Bus.
Sulfuric acid does burn. So.
It sure does.
Does cheese and jam burn?
Little Jimmy Jenkins, the poor boy, is no more because what he thought was H2O was H2SO4.
Press the button, Frank.
You better press that button. Anyway,
Oh, sorry, wrong button.
It's a deadly poison.
Cheese and jam. Have you ever eaten cheese and jam?
Look, my brothers and sisters were into the cheese and jam.
Really?
I
Okay,
was.
right. I'd never heard of it
I'm a big
before.
one or the other kind of guy.
Yeah. okay.
But yeah, I say that, but peanut butter and jam and peanut butter and banana
Banana?
slaps.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm all about
I'm
the
team
peanut
bingo
butter.
with the sandwich. I'll
Yeah.
agree with
Okay.
that.
All right.
I'm not going to
'Cause I was
poo-poo your jam and cheese, but
I'd never heard of jam and cheese. I wasn't sure if it was an invention, but I kind of like you have like fig jam with like fancy
Yeah.
cheese and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. No, good. All right.
I mean,
I've been corrected. Like,
you know, people get funny about flavor combos, and then you get to a point when you're just like, it's all fair game.
yeah.
Like pear
Right.
and peanut butter. I like peanut butter and sultanas, jam, and some of my family is into jam and Vegemite.
Yeah.
Not.
okay.
I'm like,
Well, you
jam
would say
and
that because-
Vegemite needs to sing on its own.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, you would say that because you're part of the nouveau riche, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
the up and coming, this is a classist statement, isn't it?
Oh,
No, I don't
classist.
know.
Yep.
But no, I mean, just put everything with everything. I say it all goes together.
becomes brown.
I've mentioned this before. The Vegemite. I say
know,
Vegemite should sing on its
thinking
own.
more about
Vegemite and
the
cheese.
way that you put colours together.
Vegemite
That's
and
not what I
cheese
was thinking
with a bit
about,
of
clearly.
Tabasco.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I'm still thinking about flavor combinations.
It does also make me think of when he's doing the stuff and the cheese and the jam. And there's another episode where it's a bit like this, but the mental load of preparing snacks for children.
Oh boy.
Oh man, this is one of the ones where I can see straight through to Joe's mind of just like him standing at the
Mhm.
table, just like trying to do this. Because it's like, okay, what is the kid currently actually eating?
Yep.
what can I put, what do I have in the fridge? What will be considered healthy? What will I actually eat? Ratio to this, to that.
And then to do it with multiple kids, which one
yeah,
doesn't like
like,
what?
oh man,
This, I think, is where my sister Erin is the outlier. Do you follow her on Insta?
yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever see the lunches that she does?
Oh, I can't
This is
remember.
like everybody has their thing where
Yeah.
they're like, and so sometimes it's in the
Ah.
morning, sometimes it's at night.
Mm.
Her Zen thing is
preparing the
lunches.
Okay.
And she's got all these little sandwich stamps
cutters,
and different
okay.
little toothpicks
Yeah.
and stuff. Honestly, maybe I'll
very
see if I can get you some
Japanese
pics.
of
But
her.
yeah, they end up looking like little
bento
box masterpieces.
Nice.
It's very impressive.
If you enjoy that and you get a lot out of it, that's amazing.
Yeah. She would be the first to say it's for her. She does cop a little bit from the mums, just like, thanks, Erin.
Thanks for setting the bar really high.
Yeah. My kid comes home going, why doesn't my lunchbox look like Nora's lunchbox? But there's no masquerade here. Like it's for Erin that she does this.
And I do also love when the taste, when it's like, no, I like peanut butter and banana, and the set of actions he does is a little bit of business of sliding the toast onto Bluey's. Well, you can have that.
You can have the extras,
and then I get this, and I get the bread out, and I put it in the toaster, all while he's going through his lines about like, I'll tell you this for free, and it was just that little bit of business. Like there's a couple of there's another episode as well where he's just, I think it's one we've already done where he's doing a little bit of business with like mopping up some crumbs.
Oh, he's done it 1,000 times. You can do it without thinking. Muscle memory.
Does Bandit make the line, I'll tell you that for free before?
Yes.
Oh, right. I missed that bit.
Yeah,
I just flippin' love when Bluey pulls it out.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I mean, jumping ahead a bit, but and Bluey does not do I'll tell you that much.
And she does the little, what do you call it? The little sassy shimmy of the head.
Almost like
that one.
Almost like Z click or whatever they call them.
Is it that a Z click? Okay.
I don't know.
Right.
I might have just made something up.
No, 100%. That's what I was imagining where you do the the 3-point movement.
But so many good lines in this. I like opened the episode with a little bit of a, let me introduce you to us. I just think the way that line isn't, it kind of makes sense, but the way she says it makes it sound like it's fun. The direction in the sound booth of these things, there's a million ways to say that just sound normal, but they found the way that makes it sound like a kid getting something wrong in a funny way. It's just, it captures everything. It's so perfect.
The other one that I really like is like, okay, he's cereal.
Yeah, because they've laid the groundwork of. I also say,
I say
cereal instead of serious.
And well, actually, no, she doesn't say. I also say, because it's the first thing she describes about herself, which I think is hilarious. That's the first thing you can think about. Is like.
That scene of them when they've first broken off from the kitchen and they're in the lounge room. And Bluey is running Mini-Bluey through the paces.
Yeah.
Let's go. This
training.
and this, and just she's. I also kind of like move like this, like this, like
this sort of
the way when Bluey kind of like something like this, like when her voice does that, it's such a kid explaining something and. As they go, they're
making it up on the fly.
It's such a.
It's very evocative.
This is the problem, right? When you're on a podcast trying to explain what you like about something they're capturing about kids, when the thing that you like about what the kids are doing can't be explained in real life. So what I like about that can't really be explained because it's just some weird kid-specific thing that I can't explain in real life. And then somebody with the genius of Joe Brum has honed it on that, captured that, bottled it. They've put it on a show, and now I'm supposed to explain what I like about him doing that. It's this horrible circle, but it's these things that can't be put into words that are just the essence of kids at that age. and how someone could be that observant. Not only, first of all, that observant to appreciate the things I appreciate in seeing kids talk the way they do and act the way they do. Third, to be able to put that on screen. It's just.
And now, Mini Brendan, I like to talk all the time, even if it doesn't make sense.
Wow, yeah, attacked. Yeah,
Board.
yeah. It doesn't even have to be words. Just noises are fine.
This is one of the episodes I know really well because we have the book, and there's some really nice things about the book. One of which is just the BORT page, which is just like the two characters, and then there's just basically the pattern background.
Oh, awesome! I was going to ask you how to spell that, but there's a canon way of spelling it.
Yeah.
There's also this is an interesting question. When she says, "I also say cereal instead of serious," which cereal is it?
Oh, it's got to be breakfast cereal.
Or is it cereal as in multiple?
Oh, it's got to be breakfast
cereal. You would think.
You would think, but it's the other one as written down. So I meant to check today, but I didn't to see what it says in the subtitles. But in the book, I'm pretty sure it's cereal.
Oh, right.
What is
well,
it?
there you go.
E-R?
He's cereal.
He's cereal.
Oh, there you go.
Which kind of makes it even more funny.
That is, yeah. Yeah. I just assumed because they're having
She's just looking at the back of the book and she goes, "Oh, a serial number." Like that's
remember the old ISBN?
Good old ISBN.
Yeah.
I hear you'd have the last. I can't just jangle that out there.
Why
and
do
Marty
you keep
not
setting him up?
Nice, Frank.
Have I told the story? I don't know. We're getting into
Why
the
do you keep setting them up?
into the odd episode of this show. I can't remember if I've told the story about me, like a friend at uni who was going to meet me, and he's like, we were going to meet in the library. And he's like, "Whereabouts are you?" And I sent him the Dewey Decimal number.
I just took a sip, but yes, I know this. That's just the most Martin thing I've ever heard. And it makes so much sense.
It really does. I was just
There's
like,
a system. Use it.
It's a system
It's
for finding a place. I also love that I like wheelbarrows. it's something I only noticed today when I was
They're
rewatching.
so distinct. These two kids, they spend so much time
I
together.
like wheelbarrows.
They're so distinct. I love it, and it's so true.
And the best part about that is further on when she's singing, when they're doing the stuff. You know what she sings? Wheelbarrow. It's that classic bingo thing of when she gets stuck on an idea. It's like we canoe. It's just like
canoe.
She's just thinking about wheelbarrows and how much she likes wheelbarrows.
She's unapologetically focused in a completely different way than Bluey.
Yeah.
Like, man, I love those kids.
You also feel like part of this episode is that age-old question, when people say, "Oh, you find someone else who watches Bluey and you talk about it," and you just go, or kids in the schoolyard talking about it, and they go, "Well, who's your favorite? Bluey, are you a Bluey person or a Bingo person?" Like, I feel like that, and again, that's not the point of this story, but it's that thing where you sit there and, right? Like you sit there and go, "Oh, this is all so much fun," and then "Oh, how good is double bingo?" and then it takes that turn where Bluey gets upset and you're like, oh, I see what you've done here. I was having fun with this episode, but there's emotions now you're bringing into it.
Masterful.
I think that's the thing is, like, we can see elements of ourselves in both the characters, and you kind of like, okay, I can see when I act like this or when I act like that. So, it's back to the puppets thing, like you get to be everyone sort of scenario.
And it's very funny, like, I mean, the moment that strikes me and that I keep coming back to is like, like I don't want this to come out wrong, but the bravery of putting in the show the moment where Bandit stuffs up by saying, "Hey, could get used to this," and then when the parents get a moment alone to go, "Yeah, but seriously, how good is double bingo?"
I know, right?
Like, I know, right? Because it's okay, because it's not as if we know these parents well enough by now. It's like they're not saying we want two bingos all the time. We don't want a blue. They're just like, for the crazy morning, just on paper,
Yeah.
when one kid is being this Bluey chaos,
Yeah.
and another kid is just this fitting in the box,
Ordered,
going
yeah.
to the thing, like
Yeah.
helping with the like. Of course, that's easier. That's easier in those moments. There are other moments where it's not as easy, but I love that they put that in there because I don't know, it's real and like it, and because the show, it once again in a lesser show, you wouldn't be able to do something like that because every other moment of the show's series isn't layered enough. But this show is so layered, and we know them so well by now that we know what they mean. Just like we know what a family member means when they say this one is giving me real hell right now. But why can't you just be a little like
There's the other one that sticks out to me in this one, which gives me kind of can we say that type vibes?
Yeah.
Is the when they're talking about like, why do we have to pick up these things? Like, well, you know that food in the fridge, that's not yours either.
Yeah.
That's like it seems like a slipping through of a 1980s parent sort of style of thing. When
he is from
serial.
the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that I don't know if I could get away with saying that to my child if my wife was around.
Yeah. Is Chili in the shot when he says that? It's just,
No, she's inside. She's
she
prone.
She would give a
somewhere.
little
Still
eye
looking
roll
for the
to that
book.
though. Be like, but also her response to when he actually says, "I could get used to this," and she's like, "Well," and Bluey's like, "What?" And she's like, "Bandit," like not angry with him,
But
but
just like,
and he's like, "Oh, I didn't mean like it's all
he
so
knew,
forgivable and just in the mix of the day. Like they're not perfect. Nobody on the show is perfect, which is great to portray them like that. But Bingo, when she sees that Bluey is upset by this, she just snaps into action.
Yeah.
Like this is a real heroic moment for Bingo, and I've been waiting for this. I think I've mentioned it on previous episodes and subsequently got the rolled up newspaper. Fair enough too. That's what it's there for. Not this time though, because this is the episode. But she just like sees her big sister is upset, and the way she delivers when Bluey says, "Because I'm annoying, you're not annoying," and Bingo's like, "Yes, I am. Let me show you exactly how
different
annoying."
Yeah.
And it's so clear to her.
Yeah,
like,
she's like "Duh."
Bingo's such. She's always got. She's such a. She's, for want of a better word, passenger to Bluey in so many ways. She looks up to Bluey so much and goes along with like Bluey sets the games and sets the play a lot of the time. But Bingo's just like quietly absorbing everything. But then when it's her time to actually go, oh, hang on, it's all so clearly boxed and organized and she
makes sense to her.
And then just completely freaking people out.
And she knows exactly what to do straight away.
Where's the give me the tape? Give me
she's
the
so aware of
fake
herself.
teeth. And then like the tape and the teeth, and then she's just getting around with like a globe. Like
it is
that's
really
not referred to at all.
And
that makes it.
And
like,
this is I don't think I actually thought of why I told the story about Nora behind the Christmas tree going Papa. Like just to be clear, she does not call Josh Papa. And Josh is her dad. She never says Papa. This might be the first time I've ever heard her say that. Might be the last. But it was just some weird thing that was unexplainable, and that's why it's creepy and so hilarious. And that's exactly the kind of thing, like put teeth in, stick your nose back with sticky tape, carry a globe, walk up going deep to your parent, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's 100% it. Like, how do you respond to that?
She's
like,
so aware of what's needed in that moment. She's like, what's needed is this. So good.
I love the reveal behind the newspaper. He's just like,
Yeah.
just relaxing with his newspaper. It's like, whoosh. And it's another gums moment. You can see
Yeah.
especially Chili's
Yes.
gums when
Yeah,
she
yeah,
freaks
yeah,
out,
yeah.
which is one of my favorite things, as we know. But just you stop it! So you're freaking me out. Oh, it's just making me feel weird in my body. And I have to go hide in the cupboard.
So during the Mini-Bluey, instead of the big bingo,
Yeah.
the
Big
big
bingo,
bingo and
yeah.
Mini-Bluey, during the Mini-Bluey phase, the whinging, she goes, oh, I also usually just literally, Bluey wouldn't help here. And usually I'd whinge like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Oh, it's so,
So
the way that this show is so good at presenting them as complete humans. I know they're dogs, complete humans that even all the flaws and the foibles, that's pretty annoying if you're going to do that. But she's such a complete lovable character that she's like a real kid. Like, kids can be so annoying, but you love everything about them because they are like, if they weren't everything they are, then it wouldn't be right. But then when they're out in the yard during the double bingo.
Yeah.
And
the big bingo.
And
I pretend it's a wombat.
I pretend it's a wombat and I'm putting it to bed.
Night.
Such a
good night. Night. And it is this window into Bingo's mind that you don't get. And you can sort of see the way she's a little bit nervous to kind of reveal this.
Yeah, that's such a good pickup, man. Yeah.
Kind of like, like,
she knows it's right to reveal this part of herself now.
Yeah.
She wouldn't assume to do it because usually Bluey's on the clock as the leader.
Yeah.
But now she knows this is her moment. Is this the time that I talk about my little, like...
How I do things.
How I do things. And she's like,
how
and she feels safe to do it. A little bit nervous, but safe.
Yeah.
I love that you noticed that. Yeah.
Result.
That's a great one as well.
Some great parent lines. Great parent lines in this.
Like, it doesn't
There's
need
some
to be
good
good result or
Yeah.
bad. Just like almost straight down the barrel. Just result.
Because there's, what is it we've got?
Has that been long
Here
enough?
we go.
It's been 20 minutes.
Okay. Gets me every time. Just because they don't need to, like the cart between when they climb in and then it goes to, you can see times pass.
Yeah.
And he's just eating dry spaghetti.
That's what
Is that what it is, or is it like a pretzel stick?
No, see, I think
I
it's
feel
dry-
like it's
You're
dry
gonna try to
spaghetti.
do it? Okay, all right.
That was my reaction.
Is it never spoken about? I've always assumed it was dry spaghetti.
Yep.
I might be wrong, but just like, is it safe to go out? I think so. It's been 20 minutes. That's so funny. The fact that they've been in there for 20 minutes, and it's like
that is the perfect. That's like not too long to leave your kids completely.
Yeah.
But long enough to think that things might have shifted.
Things
The
might have
game's
shifted.
changed in that
And
time.
longer than a bit longer than what the cut has suggested.
Yeah.
You know that they're waiting for things to cool down, but 20 minutes is so funny, and the way he just nonchalantly says it's been oh man, it gets me every time.
I like to also ask questions and then never listen to the answers.
And she
really
cuts
listen
off
to the answer. Yeah.
like I also like that question, and then as he's answering.
And then never listen.
But I don't really listen
to
to
the answer.
So the actual cutoff is like, and she's demonstrating it as she's explaining
in
it.
real time.
Oh,
and I
man.
like that this whole episode, Chili's pretty much just prone. She's like searching under something.
Yeah.
So there's even a physical difference between like Chili and Bandit in this one. Because Bandit's like, she's always, I think my favorite one is when she's saying the line of, like, why do you keep on setting them up?
Yeah.
Because she's been down on her knees and she sat back.
Yeah.
Which just is a very active
It's
mum
just how
sort
you
of
move.
thing.
Yeah.
It's how mums
and
move.
she's just moving around all over the place and trying to find this book and just going through the piles of books. Where are you? Oh, one other thing from
your story.
Yes, we'll have this story.
Okay,
one other
Story
thing
time.
that I like from the actual physical book of Mini-Bluey is from the sequence where she's got the big teeth in her mouth.
Oh man.
Is the way it writes follow me.
Follow me.
Me is written MWE.
Wee.
We.
Yeah.
Which is just like perfect. The
Yeah.
other one is the one I quoted before, which is like she's singing loudly but beautifully.
That's
like the
loudly
open-
but beautifully.
That's the opening line of the book. So there's some good stuff in it. All right.
Loudly but
Is it
beautifully.
time? It is
Story
now.
time.
Oh, I
Story
think
time.
so.
So yes, you did say Yertle the Turtle, which
Yes.
I've never actually read.
Ah, it's a good
but-
one.
When you have something like Schmertle the Dirty
The real
Turtle,
Tower of Babylon sort of tale.
of
Of
stacking
higher,
turtles.
higher. Yes,
Yeah,
stacking.
okay. Like I never really got in. I never read much of it when I was a kid, or had it read many
Right.
Doctor Zeus stories. But we've got the what's he called, the Lorax, and I appreciate
Uh-huh.
the fact that
Yeah,
it's got a wider moral to it. So
Yeah.
in my mind, this is Dogworld's Doctor Zeus.
I see.
So here we
yep.
are. Okay, Schmertle the Dirty Turtle.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to imagine the illustrations, but we get that nice front.
I'm
illustration
imagining.
here. Okay. There once was a turtle. His moniker, Schmertle. His shell color, Purtle. His feelings, quite hurtle. For as you can see, he was quite dirty, and the other animals would scree that this is not how you should be. Why, he's covered in mud, he's covered in splud, coated in twigs, festooned with spligs. You need to be tested, or we'll have you arrested. While you make no stench, just sit here on this bench while a doctor interns, while dirt leads to germs and moral decay. You just can't be this way. So for 3 months and a day, he did it their way. He scraped and he scrubbed to keep off the mud. But for all of this time, for no reason or rhyme, he felt rather bad, much internally sad. He did not feel like Schmertle, but some other clean turtle. A mask it was only that made him feel phony. And while now he did fit in, he had no reason to grin, because he was so tired from all the washing required. But it was on that day someone else came his way. Another turtle was there, covered in mud and much hair. Her name was Eclair. After saying good day, he asked, "How are you this way?" She smiled and she said, they got in your head. You see, mud is quite nice, it keeps off the lice. And the hair I keep there helps me show off my flair. The germs are misinformative. They just want you to be normative. And that's really why you're tired from being so performative. Dirt for a turtle is actually quite fine. It turns out that society's the one out of line. So as you can see, social conformity sucks. Whether you live with people or with ducks. So if you're unique, don't hide it away. Like Schmertle the Turtle, put it all on display.
Ah, look at that.
So I have been reading.
So you probably didn't read much Dr. Seuss as a kid.
No,
you say.
apparently
No,
not.
no.
Clearly.
I'm not sure if I believe it.
Well,
Scream.
I've
If
read
you pull that out.
I forgot to say
I
yes,
love
because
that.
Dr. Seuss likes making up words as well. So I
Yes.
had to make up.
I
few
loved
things in
the
there.
3 years in a day. Was it 3 years in a
3 months.
3 months in a
3 months.
I
in a
love
day.
just I don't know the way that so
Very nice,
much
mate.
of it fell just right.
Thank you. But yes, I've been doing a lot of reading about what is that? Masking,
Uh-huh.
like social and autistic masking and all that
Oh,
sort
right
of
on.
stuff. So that's my little, because I always like the idea. You look at
Well,
the thing.
you heard it
when
here
it's-
first. What's the ISBN of that one?
Yeah.
Once
Publishing house, yeah.
I'll meet you there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll get some people illustrating.
Can
on
I
that one,
can I
but-
make one note? One
yeah,
little
yeah,
one thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was looking when you said masks, I was like, oh, is this a Ninja Turtles reference this book needs to have? But that's okay.
There's
That's
the
good.
man literally wearing a Ninja Turtles t-shirt.
I am.
And
Correct.
I've got his Ninja Turtles drink bottle right here. A Frank Green
Yes,
drink.
those are the only two Ninja Turtle things in this room.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
And
yeah,
never,
no.
never mind the entire wall behind me.
But-
So this is a Frank Green. You're Frank. This water bottle's green,
Correct.
and it's got the blue lid.
So you know how we did that? You had to buy 2 water bottles.
Of course you did.
Because
Yeah.
they come one green, one blue. And my wife, Ali, is like, I know what he's going to do here. And she presented it to me like that.
Oh, so you went out and bought 2 Frank Green
Yeah, so
water
you got
bottles.
the
Must be nice.
Well, she got the other one. So, you know.
Which is now she's got a blue one with a green top.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
Who did you say was a nouveau riche?
That's her water bottle. I don't care.
Hey, if
about
you
that.
can afford 2 water bottles, you're doing all right.
I'm just sticking my head under a tap like the pleb I am.
Member of the proletariat, pushing other people out of the way. But yeah, no, I just like the idea of having the story about him being dirty not being a problem.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
it's
man.
always, yeah. Anyway, so there you have it. I've
And
always wanted
just
to
a
write that
a
because it's
character
like-
coming in without a care, and it just it's so Dr. Zeus without a care, showing you can be this way. It's like a yeah.
So yeah, when I saw Schmerdel the Dirty Turtle, I was like, there really needs to be
I
the story
you just
for this.
I need to fanfic this right now.
That's it.
It's an untapped corner of the Bluey universe. Until now.
Now it's mine. I haven't checked to see if anybody else has actually done it.
Dr. Blues. No,
I did try and think of something.
Cutting that bit
was
out.
Like... Check our inbox.
let's do it.
Do we still have access to it, or is it?
Has it locked us
It's
out?
locked us out.
Has not been used in 60 days.
Oh, do you guys remember the recovery password? Oh man, whose
boy.
phone was it tethered
Yeah.
to?
Yeah, that's a great question. What are those security questions?
Double.
Whose mother's maiden name did we use?
The dual factor authentication is set up with. No, we did have one. We've got one here from. Now it was from our friend who we kept anonymous because she wasn't doing so well.
Yep. Yeah.
But very glad that they have gotten back in contact with us because she's doing much better.
Hey,
So, things have turned out really well. Things are looking really good. So moving in a more positive direction. And thanks us for keeping her entertained.
Did we have?
And-
We're so glad to hear that,
Yeah,
and
that's
I know
amazing.
you know who you are, but do we have can we give a name or an initial, or we can give an initial, can't we?
It's M.
M. You know who you are, M. That's a great initial to have. not the leader of the Bond, like the MI6 sort of thing.
How do we know?
Maybe.
maybe.
Is that
Anyway,
why they want to be anonymous?
maybe that's why.
Oh, sorry. What is that coming down to the ceiling? And I'm being taken. Oh, that's Mission Impossible. Close enough. Close enough.
She does
We're going to
say-
have words after we finish recording, young man. Very distinct universes.
Oh, mercy. She does say she's enjoying the fact that she can show off to her grandson where all the long dogs are in the different episodes.
Aw.
Because that's something that he did not know about. By the way, we didn't mention the long dog.
Long
It
dog?
is
Yeah.
in the shot where Chili's looking for Schmerdel.
I assumed it was in the toy room somewhere.
Yeah, it's in the
I
playroom, bottom
couldn't see
left-hand
it.
corner.
Excellent.
Didn't notice that one.
Long dogs. They're sneaky critters.
But now she's not allowed to point out where they are because he wants to discover
He
them for
wants to show
himself.
Oh, that's nice.
That's fair.
And she likes my stuff the best. Is basically what she
Well,
says.
you know.
Well, I mean,
no, it's like she does say she
who
enjoy.
can blame her with a story
I
like
mean,
that?
he's gone above and beyond.
He
this
really
episode,
has.
hasn't
She
he?
does say
Literally
she enjoys the.
You'd already won him over. You didn't need to write a story, Marty, but he does. This is the mole he goes to.
She does enjoy the Midnight Poem, which is one of my favorites. Actually, that was a step up. But she enjoys weaving in the weaving of philosophical concepts to create new ways to look at it. So, no worries.
Finally getting
Thank
the
you,
recognition you
Em,
deserve,
for-
because he sure as heck doesn't get it from us.
No, not with these plebs. Yeah. So very much appreciate your message and very glad to hear that
Oh,
things
boy.
are looking more
Things are looking
positive.
up.
So
Yes,
that's
indeed.
gold.
That
That's
is a
the
great
stuff.
follow-up. Yeah. Do you have anything that you usually do at around this time, Brendan?
Well,
Apart from go to bed?
I often give credit where credit's due, do I not?
You do?
Yes.
Shall I?
You have been known to do this.
Will you allow it?
I don't know. Let's see. Frank, there's 2 buttons there. Why don't you press one of those buttons and decide
Ooh.
whether he's
Flip
going
a
to do it or
coin.
not?
I feel under pressure now.
You have to remember. Which...
You know.
He's up both.
I didn't know if that was going to work or not.
So,
You can do it, but under duress.
I'm sweating. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, this is the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Faster,
in that
but not
case-
too fast.
Okay. The perfect tempo of the drums. See how I took when you did fast, not too fast, and made a tempo music reference. Drums came in. You notice that?
Get on with it.
Get on with it, ladies and gentlemen. This episode, the credit where credits blue, I would like to give unto Jessica Magro.
Hooray!
Jessica, I don't know if I pronounce your name correctly. Is it Magro? 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 I keep picking names for credit where credits blue that I later go, oh my man, I hope you're not
You
too
should call
offended
them
if I got that
beforehand.
wrong. I should call them before. I don't have that kind of bull. I don't know these people. They don't want to talk to me. But what I would like to say to them is that you obviously put yourself. Jessica
What did I
Magro
do? Yeah.
is the was it associate producer? Oh man, I'm gonna have to go back into the IMDb. I was so proud that I had it ready to go. I'm here.
This is
Assistant
the
producer.
longest running
No.
Ready to go.
I had it. Oh, this is the one time, and I didn't have all the information. I had incomplete information ready to go, which usually I have not ready to go all the info. So we're getting when we're not getting there. We're being insufficient in two different ways.
This has gone about as well as I would have expected. Yeah.
But assistant producer Jessica Magro, thank you so much for all you do and for the part of you that you put into this incredible show. We are so grateful for you and the show. Thank you, Jessica. Credit to you.
Macro.
I hope that's the way you pronounce it. Bart.
I'm also reminded of those aliens from, is it
Yep,
Sesame Street or the Muppets?
Yep, you, yep, me,
Yep,
yep, baby, yep,
Family.
family, yep, yep. I had two friends who, my sister's friends, they were a bit younger than me, knew them through school, so they became my friends. But
People you know.
people I know came to a costume party that I wasn't at because I'm not their friends. That much of their friends. The more my sister's friends. My sister was at the party. I wasn't, but I heard about them and I knew them from there. But they came as costumes. They were like the sort of like me and Jordan, or like the kind of like real. The people who would always
What is the
walk up-
core of this anecdote?
no. Sorry. These two friends of my sister's who were very
Did
close.
they come as
and
those aliens?
They came to a costume party as those
There
aliens.
you go, everyone.
But
We know Brendan so well. We can pick the end.
the
of
joke
this.
was because they were like the inseparable duo of friends. Yep. And they came and they would I think their mums had gone out and got felt like shaggy felt and stitched massive bodysuits and they'd gotten for the googly eyes they were like sports balls painted white or whatever like with black dots. And get this, I'm gonna try and describe this on a podcast. So imagine you're doing the tea with
The
jam
Nutri-
and bread
pose
pose from Sound of Music, like just kind of arms in front of you, like, and they would move their arms,
to make the
clasping
mouth
hands out and back
to be the shape
to
of
be the
mouth.
mouth. So and they
the
go
right sort of movement.
Yeah.
So how do you say that on a podcast?
You're holding your hands together.
like a monk, like a Franciscan monk, kind of holding and moving that away and just making the big mouth with your arms. Like, is that not okay? Yep.
It's fine.
You had me
I saw a video of it and it was one of the more impressive costumes I've seen.
You had me until you said Franciscan monks.
No, that's what they did. They walk. Don't they? The Gregorian chant guys.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Martians from Sesame Street. Yep.
I immediately regret bringing up that reference.
yet someone likes Marty stuff the best. I don't get it. Holy dooly, that was a big where we
That
at
was-
on the old
that was
where we at
something.
on the old counter there, Frank. That's
Triple figures. Let's
triple
put it that
figures.
way.
Whoo-wee. This is before the edit though, so I'll work on my magic sometime mid next year. No, folks, thank you for joining us as you always do. Or maybe you don't, but this time you did because you can hear me now. If you don't join me, then you'll never hear this, so it's not wrong, and you can't prove me wrong because
How very
you ain't here.
anthropic of you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You'll have to repeat that to me and explain what it because I do want to know what that means.
Okay.
But for now, we're talked long enough. But what a great episode!
Great episode.
God, I love Bluey. Such a good show, and I love you guys.
But seriously, how good is Double Bingo?
Oh, I know, right? But if you need some hair chalk, if it exists, your jury's out.
Or a
But-
wheelbarrow?
Or a
Wheelbarrow.
wheelbarrow, definitely a wheelbarrow.
a rake?
Or,
Yep.
or a pantry big enough to hide in for 20 minutes?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. You'll find them down aisle what's an ISBN? What's the Dewey Decimal number for
what?
The
hardware.
Aisle like 300 to 399. Is that one?
Yeah, that would
Yeah, it
be
works.
Yeah. It's probably not accurate. but-
Probably not accurate. But you can meet Marty because
Someone
he
down,
uses
like,
that
yeah.
down one of those aisles with the
Yeah,
starting
unless
at
it's
300.
Like what is it? It's just the Congress system.
Yeah.
It has to be the Dewey Decimal system.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
okay.
yeah.
Dewey decimals.
Anyway,
You'll meet us down
Somewhere
Dewey
down that
decimal,
aisle.
at Dewey decimal number 300.
Yep.
Left at the false teeth.
Okay. To the left at the dentistry records. Records? Do they have those in a library or just like dental hygienist books and training equipment?
What is happening?
Oh boy, we're losing it.
And if you hit one of these, you give it a little boom diddy boom. Boom diddy boom.
Created and produced by Frank, Brendan, and Marty. You can follow the Hammerbond Project on facebook.com/HammerbondProj, at HammerbondProj on Twitter, or Hammerbond_project on Instagram. Theme featuring Nibblings, Kaylee, Jade, Ashley, and Reese, and PA announcements by brother-in-law, me, Josh. Thanks for listening, and remember to get down to Hammerbond for cheap shovels.
We need more BORT license plates.
Yep.
Uh-huh.